Hello there, Aries. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I am so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to be doing your February career and money reading. We'll take a look at the overall energies in your career and money sector, and then we'll look at the tarot to see if there's any obstacles or situations in your career and money sector that are, preventing you from manifesting what it is that you want in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the Animal Spirit Oracle card. Pick Spirit. Use your mind wisely. Aries, I think you've been getting this card quite a bit. When pigs fly, it's kind of like this energy of, use your mind wisely. Maybe not over dream. This sense of, staying a little bit grounded. And not being so dreamy, not that that's bad, but it's kind of like, okay, you got the big dream, you got the big picture, but now it's about pulling it down out of the sky and grounding it and getting down to the nitty-gritty details. Unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. I love that, that energy of just knowing, okay, this is on my path. I'm on the right track. Sometimes when we have those big lofty dreams or, we're trying to create something, a new business, a new project, going for a new job, whatever it is in your career or money sector, or wanting, to materialize like a new car, a new house, something like that. It's about, we start with that big picture, but then at some point we do need to bring it back down to the ground. And sometimes when we get to that part, it is hard, especially if this is a new type of career or project or area that you have never experienced before, right? So say you have been in a business before, but you've never started your own business, right? And you have this lofty idea to start this new business and you're all excited about it and everything. But now all of a sudden, reality hits. You have to get business permits, or you have to, rent a space, or you have to buy products or hire people. Those are things that you haven't done before. Well, that's okay. You're just on a learning curve. It doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. When we go from the lofty to the grounded, sometimes it's really difficult because the grounded part of it, the details of it, can be sometimes overwhelming, a little tedious, On the bottom, we have patience. I feel like you need to be patient with yourself. You need to be patient knowing that you are perhaps going in a direction that you've never gone in before. So there's a learning curve, right? You're not going to step right into this and everything's going to fall into place. To allow yourself, be compassionate and gentle with yourself, knowing that you're on the right path, but everything's just new. So it feels difficult. It's not difficult. It's just unfamiliar. Okay, so we're going to lay out your reading. Yeah, you have a lot of anxiety here, Aries. So we're going to look at that. And patience is coming back up. So we're going to look at your present energy, your area of resistance or your obstacles, and then we'll go ahead and look at advice from Spirit. Hanged Man, trying to get a new perspective of this situation, whatever this is, and it's taking time. Yeah, there is definitely patience needed in this situation. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So in your present energy, interesting. 8 of Wands on the bottom. Getting communication, taking action after perhaps a time of indecision, getting this clarity. I have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Really getting that clarity about what direction to go in. So your present energy, we have the King of Swords here. Lots of swords action. So, that is analyzing. Taking a look at it in a realistic, informational way. Perhaps even having to learn something new. You know, lots of learning, lots of energy about thinking, the and analysis, the step by step. You know, how are we going to get from A to B? How are we going to get from this big picture into the daily grind of bringing this into fruition? There is a lot of anxiety here. We have door to value, door to personal healing and happiness. You know, you're anxious about this, but look at this. This is lovely energy that's underneath there. This is something that can really bring you a lot of happiness and abundance. You're just kind of like worried. You're kind of focusing on the fears that this is not going to happen. And I feel like that's just because you're in this difficult time of having to get really clear about the direction that this is going in, you know, getting really clear about the details of this after a dreamy period that was maybe a little bit fun, you know, a little, just kind of like out there, you know, and now all of a sudden it's kind of like reality is hitting. We have hostilities here. There could be people around you that are creating difficulties for you. But this could be even just like, you know, okay, you have to get a business permit, and then, you know, you have to maybe go to your local community courthouse or something like that. And it's just like I feel like you're hitting one little obstacle after another that when you were in the dreamy stage didn't seem like they'd be obstacles, but all of a sudden you realize, oh, you know, like you go to get the permit and then they tell you that you need a letter from the bank or something, you know, and then it's like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Now I have to go over to the bank and I have to get a letter from them, and then I have to come back and I have to get a letter from the landlord or something like that. Like you're having to, there's just like one detail after another, and it's like, oh, this is taking all the fun out of it, right? But Spirit also wants you to know that you're overcoming this. You have the determination to go forward with this, and that is what's going to pull you through this time. This is just a phase. I think that's the key word here. It's just a phase that you're going through. And it's just because it's the growing pains. It's putting this into reality that is a little overwhelming at the time. It doesn't mean, you know, I had a friend once, and, you know, she was buying her own home for the very first time. Okay. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is just so overwhelming. You know, I have to look at all these listings and go and look at these houses. Then I have to get the mortgage, and I have to talk to the bank. Then I have to talk to the, you know, and she was like, I just don't think I can get my own house. I think I'm just going to rent. And I was like, wait a minute. You know, all of those things that you're complaining about, you only have to do one time, right? You only have to go through looking at houses one time until you find the one that you want. Right? You only have to apply for a mortgage one time. You only have to go to the closing one time. It's like you may be thinking, oh my gosh, these obstacles are never going to go away. Well, in reality, there's probably some truth to that. But the obstacles that you're having to overcome right now are going to get easier because you're going to have more experience. When these things come up on your path, you're not going to look at them as boulders. You're going to say, oh, that's just a little pebble. You know, I've been through stuff like that before, so it's not really that big of a deal anymore. Whereas right now, it seems huge because they're just new things that are on your path. You know, 6 months, a year from now, it's just going to be, you know, a form you fill out and send in, and it's kind of like, okay, that's done. You know, whereas now it's like, oh, well, what form do I need? Who do I send it to? You know, when is it due? Can I do it online? Do I have to do it in person? You know, it's like you have all of these questions. And once you get these answers, once you get the clarity, the answers that you need about how to move forward or do these daily task. I feel like it's the daily task or the routine that is kind of overwhelming you at this time. Okay. So your area of resistance is you have the thinking woman and the Five of Cups. You know, the thinking woman, it doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. It's just this energy of overthinking what you may be losing out on. You know, you're almost focusing on, you know, the difficulties instead of looking at this from the love. You know, if you think about it, the cups go, you know, they all go up to 10. You have half of the cups. You have 5 cups, 5 out of the 10, right? You could look at this as either half empty or half full. And I feel like you're looking at it as half empty. You know, I started this business, I went on this career path, I started saving money for something lofty, and now I'm kind of into it, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's not bringing me the joy. I only have 5 cups. Okay, well, you have 5 cups more than you possibly would have had if you hadn't gone on this path. How can you focus on, you know, creating more cups, being gracious and grateful for the cups that you have, for how far you have come on this path? It's the energy of, you know, taking action on those things that you can control instead of those things that you can't control. You know, do you have to fill out this paperwork or whatever this is? Yep, you do. You can't change it. You can't control it. Perhaps you could hire somebody to do it for you. Right? You could delegate it to another employee or something like that. But the reality is that there are certain things that have to get done every single day. It's not all the dreams. And it's like reality hits and it's kind of like, yeah, well, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's just about refocusing your priority, you know, refocusing your perception of it. Yeah, you're transforming. Yeah, wow. 3 of Cups. There's this energy of wanting to celebrate. And yet I feel like you're almost, you know, you're trying to turn something. For some of you, this could be a side business that now you're trying to turn into something that's long term. It's about transforming your, looking at the long range goal of where you're trying to go instead of looking at the day-to-day details of it. Really interesting. Sag and Leo both had kind of similar energies to it. Yours is much more about looking at the big picture of keeping your eye on the dream, the why. Why did you do this? You know, looking at this from the lens of love instead of the lens of what you don't have. It's about taking a look at how can I create something that I love, that I can express myself with, that is long term. And I feel like you're just bogged down. Lots of anxiety here. You know, trying to, there is something about working with spirit, perhaps getting a different perspective of how you can work with others to get this to come into fruition or to be easier for you. But we have the King of Pentacles here. There's wealth. There's financial stability in this idea that you have. It's about having the patience for this to come into fruition for you. I feel like you are perhaps a little impatient. It's not coming along as quickly as you wanted. So now you're kind of like in a fearful energy instead of staying in an energy of, hey, this is exciting, right? That's human. Aries, that is so human, right? It's so much easier to dream about it than to put it actually into reality. And it's just kind of like you're getting into that sense of reality. Yeah, look at this. Okay, Lovers is on the bottom. This is also the choice card. Choosing to look at this from the lens of love. Choosing to put your own love into this so that it can be something that brings you happiness and joy. It's also something that is going to grow into, we have the 10 of Pentacles, grow into something that is financially rewarding for you, but it's about staying focused, choosing to look at the joy and the happiness that this endeavor is going to bring to you. Instead of, you could be focusing, oh, I only have one pentacle here, and I really, I want 10 cups, like focusing on, I'm not getting enough money for something that I thought I would love. And it's about the money will come. You're at the beginning stages. I really feel like you're at the beginning. You're on a new path. And to stay focused on where you are wanting to go, and realizing that it is going to take some work. It's going to take some time. But look, this is lovely energy. You have the Nine of Pentacles with the Sun card. Wishes granted. This energy of your wish will be granted. You just need to have a little patience and a little, I would say, compassion and gentleness for yourself. Realizing, okay, this isn't going to happen overnight. I thought I was going to start this business and the next day I would be rich, Oh, okay. So it is going to take a little bit more work. Oh, okay. I am going to have to do these things on a daily basis. But I'm going to do them with love, knowing that these things that I have to do on a daily basis, whether that is, updating the books, returning emails, working on customer service, whatever that is, whatever you may have to do on a daily basis, that is helping me to get to this place where I do have this joy and abundance. So I'm going to put my love into these. I'm not going to look at these with hostilities. Ugh, I don't want to do this. This is, that's drudgery. I don't want to do that. It's like, no, go ahead and add a little love to the day to day in order to help your dream come true. I know, that's hard, Aries. That is so hard, isn't it? It is, sometimes, when we get down to the nitty gritty of things, it is what it is. Sometimes the nitty gritty is what keeps something alive and something going and growing. Okay, so when I'm in alignment with love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. Yeah, this is about really looking at the situation, looking at the day-to-day things that you have to do with a sense of love and staying in alignment with the why you are doing this, because when you stay in that love space, then the anxiety can't creep in. There's only love and fear. So if you're staying in your heart space, if you're staying in, your why of why you're doing this, your soul's purpose, the connections that you are making with other people because of the work that you're doing. When you stay in that alignment, then this kind of goes out the door because you can only be focused on love or fear. So the more focus you can put on love, even loving the drudgery of the everyday things, will help to eliminate the fear until you're just in alignment with the love, and then this, easily moves from the 5 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. You see the joy in your work. And, you do. I mean, with these two cards, you do... You get the financial reward that you're looking for, but you also get personal happiness, which is so, which I think is so important in our work. Sometimes we do have to take a job just to pay the bills, but I think you're moving, or you've put yourself onto a path, or you are going to put yourself onto a path of work that helps you to, find personal happiness in your own life. Well, Aries, I am going to leave it there. I do wish you much love and light in this situation and in all your situations. And if you did resonate with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.